Good evening, my friends. We are live. So I am Angy Stewart from Mia Inner Light, and we are here in Kardec Radio live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And today is our third new program. So this program is called God at Home and is Spiritual Irradiation. This program is divided in three portions, three main portions. So the first portion is the God at Home, that a lot of people call it the gospel at home. And then we have a very short meditation. And then we have the irradiation, the spiritual irradiation. So the spiritual irradiation is that portion that we are going to be together and we are going to really mentalize all our friends, our family members, people that we know that might be sick or might be weak or might be going through some kind of mental issues, because I'm not talking only about physically sick. I'm not talking only about the COVID, for example, but I'm talking also about the mental diseases. There are so many different ones. And because of the pandemic time, it's even worse. People are in lockdown, people are in social distancing forever, and then a lot of people are suffering from depression. Depression is something that affects a lot of people. Sometimes they don't even know they are depressed. They start acting different. They are acting like strange. They don't want to even go to the sun. I know that unfortunately nowadays it's not that you can really be socializing with your friends, but they don't even want to walk out of the house. They don't want to eat. So this is a characteristic of depression. We have to be careful. We have to be watching it very, very closely. And many other ones. And we know that the numbers of suicides had increased a lot through the pandemic, and suicides attempts too. Thank God it was an attempt, meaning that the person survived, the person is alive. So this is a time for us to boost our energy together as a chain of love and send it out. So if you guys are here with us, remember your water. This is no joke. People say, oh, why do I have to have a bottle of water? Well, because this water here right now is just a bottle of water. But when you have faith and when we are going to be praying, we are going to elevate our energies, and the enlightened spirits are going to lower their energy, and we are going to connect. And we are going to be praying for others. We are going to be donating our fluids to bring good vibrations to others. And of course, our water will be receiving these good vibrations as well, so we can benefit from it. So as I mentioned before, if you have friends and family that are not feeling well, if you can put the water there, one bottle to each person, because each one needs a different medication. This will be wonderful. So very good. Let's start. I will bring my guests for today. As usual, we have Claudia Garces. Hello, Claudia. Hello. How are you?
Good. And yourself?
Awesome. I'm super excited. New computer. Hopefully no problems with internet. And we have Davi. Hi, Davi.
Hello.
Davi actually helped me to choose which computer to buy. Yes. So super excited. I'm like a child today. Very good. So let's go. We have no time to lose. It's already 9:07. The first portion of our study is the God at Home. So as we had been talking in the previous weeks, me and Claudia, we already do the God at Home. Some people call the gospel at home, but Davi temporarily is not doing it. But Davi is coming back soon.
I need to find a new book. I was studying a book from Divaldo. It was very interesting, written by, God, I forgot her name. It's the woman that psychographs.
Joanna
Help me, Angela.
What, Joanna
Joanna
de
de
Angelis?
Angelis, yes.
Well,
And
so
then,
many. Which one?
oh, one of the very last ones. And it was very interesting, but I finished and I'm going to be taking a trip to Brazil. So I took a break. And when I come back, I'll pick another book to study. I love to study Joanna de Angelis books because they're very funded in young psychology, which is very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, they are very deep. They are very deep. A lot of people complain that they are very difficult to understand, but no, after you understand her way of thinking, you actually can learn a lot about psychology. What is wonderful. What is
They're really good to study.
They
Yes.
are. But she
Yes.
likes to use difficult words. Oh my God. And apparently she does
Yes.
that on purpose.
But this is
Just to
good.
push us.
This helps us because then you have to go to the dictionary to understand, and you are boosting your own vocabulary. So
I
it's
usually
good.
finish the study by saying, come on, Joanna. Keep it
Well,
simple.
in Portuguese, it's even more difficult because when they translate into English, they
Yeah,
make words already much easier to understand.
I study English.
But anyway, this book can be incorporated in your God at home, in your gospel at home. You know, like I was mentioning last week, that I use many books. I use the Old Testament. I use the Spiritism magazine from 1858. I use the Gospel, the Spirit's book. And of course, when I have time, I use this one too, because it's already a way for me to study for the class today. So I incorporated all those books together. Of course, as I mentioned here, my gospel at home, it's very long. It's 1 hour, but every person is different, and you can do 15 minutes only. It's just like as there are certain things extremely important for us to do, and it doesn't matter the amount of time. But for example, Claudia, do you remember what are the super important things for beginners, how they have to set up their God at home?
Pick
The
a
day.
day, like one day in a week that you like. For example, on Sunday mornings, you don't have too many activities with your family out of your home, so you all can get together Sunday morning and have the study and have the gospel. Um,
Exactly.
Besides that,
Exactly, because people think, oh yeah, I will do the gospel at home whenever I can. It's not like that.
no,
We
it
really
has to
have to
be
set up a
always
day.
the same day
Yes,
and the same time.
yes. And also we should set up the amount of time we are dedicating to it. Like,
Mhm.
you can't say you're gonna do 15 minutes and then you do 1 hour. It's good, but you will have enlightened spirits with you for 15 minutes. They are very busy. They can't, oh, Angela just decided to do 2 hours today. Okay, Angela, good for you. But if I say 1 hour, 1 hour, they will leave.
And
So
there's another thing. You cannot like one week and then the other one you just don't come and you don't do it. Yeah, the spirits they have a lot of things to do.
You
So
can
if
let
yes,
they
them know
come
if
and
you need to stop one day, right? If you need to stop one day, you let them know. I'm
oh
not going to
yeah,
be
yes,
doing it next week,
that's it.
yes,
and I'll be back the week after, and
You
so on.
can negotiate with them,
yes,
right?
yes,
They
exactly.
never answered. I usually go like, okay, I'm not doing it the next 2 weekends. I'll be back the third week. I
Yeah,
never got an answer.
but that's exactly the thing. For example, you have to choose the best day for you to be home. Like, if you like to go out with your friends, do not set up to a Saturday night, because it's not every
Yeah.
Saturday. Oh, enlightened spirits, I have a party to go tonight, so I can't. So it's
No,
not
I'm
like,
talking about traveling. Like if you take a
yeah,
trip,
yeah, 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 yeah. No, this is
things
totally
like that.
fine.
Yeah.
It's just like people that really don't know anything and they hear that, they're like, oh, so if I can't do it, I can just, tomorrow. It's not exactly like that. We have to avoid the best we can to cancel.
That's right.
And we also know if oh, okay, I'm sorry, I can't do because this, I'm having friends over, family arrived, so I can't do it today. I will do next week. And then next week, oh, I can't do it either because of this. And then they're like, okay, you don't have commitment.
That's right.
And, Emmanuel is one of the things he told Chico Xavier. What are the 3 words Emmanuel told to Chico Xavier right in the beginning?
Discipline, discipline, discipline.
That's right.
Yes.
Location, location, location.
Not the 3 different words,
But
just
David,
the same word repeated.
If you're on vacation, if you're traveling, you can also do wherever you go.
Yes, you also.
Yeah, you can, but I often travel to visit family, and I don't wanna. The
thing is, like,
yeah,
you have to really think, like, if I'm not going to be able to do, it's better I cancel. And then you go there, and, like, for example, I go to Brazil and I spend 3 weeks, so I'm not going to be 3 weeks not doing the gospel because I will go crazy. I can't, like, maybe people can, but when you stay such a long time without doing it, it's also difficult to come back to the discipline of doing it. So when I travel, I really try to do that and try to incorporate with whatever I am. It's good that I'm usually with my parents, but I already stayed with friends and I said, oh, if you don't want to do it, I'm doing. So I don't come to the bedroom right now because I will be doing it. So this is good for us too. It's really good for us. So 9:15. So the time arrived. If you guys are here, oh, by the way, I see some people are here with us. If you want to say anything, if you want to make a comment, if you want to ask a question, please feel free to write. I cannot see your names. I'm using a platform that's not YouTube, so I cannot see your names, but we 3 would be super excited to be able to see your comments and answer and whatever you would like to mention. So now we are going to really start the God at Home, our 15 minutes God at Home, like we are doing if we were in our home. We are 3 wonderful roommates. And tonight is Thursday at 9:15. That's our time. So let's start it. So our God at Home, it starts with a very short reading just to calm us down. As you see, I'm super hyper. I'm always very hyper. So it helps me to calm down and connect with it. So Claudia, please.
So we're going to read a chapter of Happy Life. It's a very small, short message, but I think you're going to like it. It says, as much as possible, immerse your mind in study. The study rids the mind of ignorance and provides discernment. The study and work are the wings that foster evolution. Knowledge is the message of life. Studying is not limited to just the classroom, however. Life itself is an open book that teaches all who are willing to learn.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, so let's close our eyes and let's connect with the enlightened spirits. God, our Mother and Father, thank you so much for bringing us together here tonight to do our gospel at home. And at this moment, we ask you to help us to connect. We ask you to help us to fully understand the messages we are going to be reading and enlighten us on how we are going to best comment on it and help our friends that are connected with us and the ones that will be listening to this later to fully understand it too. Thank you. So be it.
So be it.
Very good. Hello, Yvonne. Nice to have you here with us. Welcome to our gospel. Let's go. So we are studying the gospel according to Spiritism. So, as we mentioned, you can use many books, but this is the basic. So, if you don't have the gospel according to Spiritism, by the way, you can buy on Amazon. It's very cheap and quick to arrive. But if you don't have the gospel according to Spiritism yet, you can have a Bible, you can have some kind of positive book that will enlighten you. There are other Spiritist books also. There is one specific called Jesus at Home. That's excellent. We always say for people to buy the gospel because the gospel has the moral teachings of Jesus that are fully explained by the light of Spiritism. So even those parables that are difficult for us to understand, we are able to, with the messages from the enlightened spirits and the explanation of Kardec, to have the aha moment that I had in the past. So this is good. So tonight we are going to be talking about who is my mother and who are my brothers. So this passage is a passage that's very controversial when religious people talk about it. Because if you don't know, this message is actually when Jesus is with the apostles in one house, he's with all of them, and someone comes and tells Jesus, Jesus, your mother and your brothers are outside asking for you to go. And Jesus look at all the disciples and he says, who is my mother and who are my brothers? So to some people, they read that and say, hey, what is that? So he basically saying, who cares? And a lot of people are like, wow, that's a weird Jesus. So in this passage is really good for us because Kardec actually, he has some thoughts about this explanation. So we can dive in it. So come on, what you both know about it? What do you want to talk about it?
To me, that's more, as almost always, Jesus' words have to be interpreted as symbology, right? I always feel that his message was so advanced for us that it's almost always symbology, and that causes the literal interpretation causes problems. But if you read through the chapter at the end, it's very clear when it says, blood ties do not necessarily create bonds between spirits, right? That's the difference between a spiritual family and corporeal family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like me, where you were born in a family that you have not very much affinity with the religious path that they took, you feel it very clearly. You go like, how did they end up here? Again, Jesus, could you give me a light? What do I have to learn to come through here? Because I am just so different from these people.
You have to learn.
I feel I don't belong here.
Even if you have to learn patience.
Whatever I had to learn. But my personal experience is that, yes, I was born in a very religious family. Part of the family is born again Christian. My parents specifically were not born again Christian, thanks God, because I would have trouble with that. But they were still evangelical. They were a Methodist in Brazil, right? And they follow the American thing of Methodism, and they are very strict. They're very strict people, and up to date, it's very hard for me to relate to them in spirituality. They have that thing that in Brazil that they say, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion, and you don't talk about soccer. I really don't care about soccer. I am out of Brazil for a long time, so politics don't really matter. But the thing we usually don't talk about is religion, because, as you were saying in the beginning, you cannot impose, you don't have the power to impose your view on anybody, right?
Yeah.
Anybody that will understand about the Spiritism, they will do that on their own terms, at their own pace, right? And at the most, when they're open to it, you can have a very careful, enlightened conversation, right? And perhaps that's what I had to learn with my parents. I love them very much. Nowadays I have a very stable relationship with them, but I personally can see the difference between the spiritual family versus the physical family.
Yeah. And this one is the one that we are going to be talking next week, is the corporeal kinship and the spirit kinship. And Claudia, what do you have to add?
Well, I believe that since we are all brothers and sisters, we come from our God as our Father. We are all in this huge family. That's why I think Jesus says that, who is my mother, who are my brothers? We are all brothers, right? And so of course, like David was saying, like sometimes we're in a family and it's very hard, and we have one or two, or maybe the whole family that we have a difficult relationship with. But we're there because we know that we need to grow, we need to learn with each other. But
we have to understand that nothing happens by a chance. So I don't have the mother and father that I really dreamed about. I have the mother and father that I needed.
That you need.
I needed that mother and father. And my parents were extremely strict when I was young. I remember, young and rebel. I had a very good friend that her parents were so open. She could do everything. And I remember, like, I wanted that. But Angela, crazy Angela, couldn't have that parents because it wouldn't end up good. Mm-hmm. So I had to have strict ones to control crazy Angela. But my friend, who was already an angel, well, she was much easier than me. She didn't need to have that. So we don't know. And sometimes we actually ask to have these parents in the spiritual realm. Sometimes we complain so much, but we don't know. Maybe we ask because I already said so many times, when we are not on this physical body, our understanding is so much bigger. And then we're like, oh, it will be good for me to be born in that family. So David, we don't know why you were brought there. There are so many possibilities. We can just imagine.
Wow. It's hard to believe, but we must have asked. There's no other.
And you're definitely not in the wrong place.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
It's just that because we forget about things when you come to this earth, it makes it very
Thank
difficult.
God we forget.
Yeah.
Well, I've read in Spiritism literature, I don't remember exactly where, I think in the Spirits book, that in much more advanced words, you don't forget, right? Because you're more prepared to deal with your past. Mm-hmm. That must be good.
Exactly.
That must be good while you're going through things.
And we have enlightened spirits that are born here, crystal spirits, the crystal children. Mm-hmm. And that we already know that some of them, very, very young, 3-4 years old, they tell their parents, Mom, in my past life, you did this and I did that, and da-da-da. So now I'm here together to be with you. And the mother is like, what? But the kid knows and even tells the parents. So one day will be exactly like you said, David. We will not need to have the veil of forgetfulness because we will be better. It's not that this curiosity will be open, but we will not be committing so many horrible mistakes. First of all, this is one of the things that we can't remember because we did horrible things, and this is very hard for us and for the other. But in the future, yeah, still a little bit further, we will be able to have like more clear minds of what were our family members, what happened to all of us as a group in a previous life. So right now it's a little bit tough, but so it's okay. It's okay. And what else can we say here? I like this passage that says here. Let me just read it. It's very very small. Um, da, 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 da. Oh, here. He could not destroy, on the one hand, what he established. He's talking about, Kardec is talking about Jesus, that he could not destroy on one hand what he had established in another hand. And we must therefore draw the unbending conclusion that if some of his maxims are contradiction with that basic principle, the basic principle that first Davi already mentioned, that first of all, Jesus always spoke in metaphorical ways. This is the first. Mm-hmm. And another thing, we have to understand that disciples, they only wrote about what they lived with Jesus 30 years later. It was not 10 years later. 10 years is already so much. But no, they wrote it 30 years later. Oh my God. How do they remember? Well, because they were mediums, and I'm sure the spirits were like, do you remember? But even like that, you can misunderstand something, you might understood something, or you didn't remember well. So this is a possibility. This is a possibility that Jesus might have not referred exactly like that. Another important point, just to finalize, because I'm trying to be good with time, is that Mary, when Mary got married to Jesus, when Mary got married to John, he was a much older man, and he was a widow. His wife died, and he was left with many kids. So he had all these kids. They are the brothers, the half brothers to Jesus. So the half brothers to Jesus, we know throughout the Bible, throughout the teachings, that they did not follow Jesus' teachings. They were not, first of all, they were not spirits developed to understand the Jesus line of thinking and the teachings. It's actually mentioned here. There is a passage here that also talks about it. Talks the brothers, they did not understand and accept Jesus. And Mary, his mom, she also did not understand him. But she loved him with the motherly love that doesn't matter what my son is doing, I love him so much. So that's how were the feelings of that. We also know that Mary only understood the teachings of Jesus after his death. So when he was on the cross, he was telling the disciple that was right there with Mary, and he told him, "This is your mother, and Mom, this is your son." So he was telling them, like, from now on, you both will be together. So from that time, he really took Mary to live with him, and he was a disciple and a preacher. So for the rest of her life, she heard him. And that's when she started opening up her mind to love her son, not just as her son, but as really the Messiah, the one who came to help us to improve a little bit. So this is very, very beautiful to have this understanding also. How was Jesus' family in that time? We think we have a difficult family. Woo! You're not
can you
alone.
imagine being mother of Jesus?
Oh my goodness. Oh
Oh,
my goodness. I remember reading that passage that they were in a gigantic group. They traveled to Jerusalem, a huge city. Imagine they went to a huge city, and Jesus disappeared. And they are already halfway going home when they realize, oh my God, where is the kid? So they had to go back. And then they meet Jesus in the
crazy.
temple. I remember thinking, oh my God, if he was my son. And Jesus looked at them and said, I'm here. I'm doing the business that my father told me to do it. What are you doing? Why are you complaining? I was like, what, this little thing? I'm joking,
Sure.
but
No,
definitely
it's true.
not easy to be mother of a spirit like that. You
No.
know, it's really difficult. That's another thing that brings us to the kids of nowadays. The kids I just mentioned, the crystal kids, they are this very elevated morally and intellectually. So these kids are like the blessing, but they are very rare in numbers. But the majority of the kids that are born right now are the indigo. The indigo kids
They
are
are
the
something.
challenging kids. They are extremely intelligent, but they are deceiving. They are difficult for the parents, and they need discipline
Are you
because
talking about Jensen?
yes,
That's why we need the gospel at home.
exactly.
You see?
Exactly. The
Well,
gospel home helps everyone, helps the moms to calm down.
the universe was set up in a way that we develop intelligence before morality, most cases, not always,
Yes.
but that causes problems because now we know how to do things, but we don't know how to judge it very well. Is it going to be a problem or not?
Yes, yes. That's why, the spirits, they already tell us all these super intelligent kids that are coming, they really need to be tailored. They need to be cut the borders.
Hmm.
But it's not like me. In the past, my mom used to tell me, "You are not going to do it." And I remember I always talked forever. But why? Because I said so. And then I remember saying, "But why?" And I learned not to say why again or suffer the consequences. But my son's very little. But why? But why? But why? And I said 1,000 times. And when I came with the sentence, because I said so, no, 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 no.
It
That
didn't work.
didn't stick, right?
Now you have to explain. I'm like,
Oh my God.
so these are the kids of nowadays. Why? You have to explain. But the good thing is that when you explain, he understood. He understood. No, if you put your finger here, you're gonna have a huge burn in your finger. You might lose your hand. And he's like, okay. I never needed to put anything to protect the electricity. I never needed to put anything to stop the kid from opening doors because I taught him everything. And he really learned. So we used to go to friends' house that are not married, and they have all those fancy, cute, adorable things on the tables. And I remember being with Jensen and just like, and I always spoke to him in Portuguese. So I used to say, não pode. And then at a certain point in my life, all my American friends and family, they all knew this sentence. They're like, no pode. No pode. I'm like,
No
yes,
coach.
não pode. Because Jensen used to go like this, like he's approaching something, and then he always look at me. And then não pode. He's like, so.
Well, there's also a, and I know it's off topic, but I'll be quick. There's also a element of experience sometimes, and I was a child like that. Like no pode never really stuck to me until I experienced it and sometimes hurt myself and understood why you cannot do it. Advice did not get to me. And funny enough, like you're mentioning that at work, I'm still that way. So I'm an engineer, right? So if I have a design and somebody comes in and says, this is not going to work, just this is not going to work, doesn't cut. This is not going to work. Why? What are the scenarios this is not going to work?
Yeah.
And you know what?
You want to
What do you?
understand why it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Huh?
And then you better come with a, you better don't come halfway. Come with another solution. Okay, it's not going to work. What are we going to fix? How do we fix it? Right.
Yeah.
And I think it relates a lot with today's kids, where it's an extra challenge as a parent because, this is not going to work. Doesn't cut anymore. Doesn't work. Why? How do we fix it?
Exactly. Yeah, and the that has to be like that. Although we become that person, okay, and you never try anything. So I always tell Jensen that people like to say, "Oh, he thinks out of the box," because the box is how most of people think. And my son said, "I don't even have a box." I'm like,
okay.
Very
the
good.
answer is yes, you do. You just can't see it. One day you'll be able to see it. We all do.
We have to go to our meditation. So we have to calm down our thoughts. We have to relax. We are super hyper. So now we are going to have Claudia doing our final prayer to our gospel. That was a lot of fun. I love to do it with friends because it's so exciting, the conversation. And I'm sure people are hearing and say, "Oh, but I do it alone." It's fine. You think you're alone. You can have conversations with the spirits. I did it for so many years alone, and I used to have conversations with the spirits. When I didn't hear them, I used to think they were talking to me. And it's a wonderful way to protect our environment and to boost our energy.
And
so now we are going to go to the
just
the
add something, Angela. Just add one little thing. You can also do at work, just for you to think about it, because sometimes you can get to your work 5 minutes or 10 minutes before, or 15 minutes, and just read a passage of the gospel, and the environment changes as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Depending on the work, I can't do my
Yes.
job because imagine. But I have friends who actually, when they are driving to work,
Right,
that's when they
prepare
start
yourself
really
for it.
meditating and put a music. And it's true. We always have a better day in our work environment. So let's go. So Claudia, could you do us the final prayer? And if you were seeing us now, or if you're listening to this, as soon as her prayer finished, we are going to have a very short meditation. It's only 7 minutes. Please try to keep your eyes closed. So when the meditation finish, I will do a radiation, and then you have to have in your mind all the people that you will be sending these loving vibrations to, your friends, family. And if you don't have yet, run and grab your bottle of water. Okay, so let's go.
Okay, so let's close our eyes and let's take a few deep breaths so we can calm down and calm our hearts and prepare ourselves to the next work. And sitting in a very comfortable position, let's elevate our thoughts to our Master Jesus. And we talked so much about his life and his mother, and we are all family, so we are here tonight. And let's think that Jesus is here because he is in our hearts. So let's say to this friend, this master, this superior spirit that is here with us tonight to guide us, to protect us. And Jesus, thanks so much for being here tonight. And thanks for being part always to join us as a family so we can talk about your teachings and so that we can learn, so that we can progress. And that's why we're here tonight. And we are so thankful for this family. So tonight we have some laughs, we had a great time, but most of all, we had you here with us tonight. So calm our hearts and prepare ourselves to the next work for the meditation that we're going to start in a few minutes. And we ask you and the good spirits to guide all of us to protect our families and also to put in our water all the medication that we need. And we're very, very happy to be here tonight and continue staying with us always. So be it.
In preparation for the virtual passes, we would kindly recommend the following. Be certain that you have a real need to receive passes. Do not use the room simply out of curiosity. Casual visits to the room will negate its future benefits when needed. When using the room, have gratitude and show respect as you would when visiting a physical spiritist center. During the passes, silently evoke God's protection as well as Jesus. Also pray to your guardian angel. Concentrate on positive thoughts, thereby avoiding negative ones. Breathe deeply, slowly, calmly, and confidently. Always be ready to pray. Let us begin this passes session by praying as our guide and model Jesus Christ has taught us with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now, let us feel that small points of suffering, bitterness, sadness, anger, deception, disappear from your mind to not return. Like aged leaves that are shed from trees, let go of those feelings that no longer serve you. And gently, but most assuredly, discard them. Let the wind of life carry them so far away that they are unable to return and recreate their negative link. Little by little, your emotional tree sheds its negative feelings, becoming clean and ready for its renovation. Without the weight of those dead leaves, you feel lighter and are able to feel the gentle water of life now abundantly falling onto your physical body, spiritual body, and soul. This water cleans, disinfects, purifies, deconstructs, and tones all the cells of your body. Nothing can escape its renewing action. At the same time it is cleaning and moisturizing your body, this crystalline liquid satiates your spirit, eliminating affliction, anxiety, and unrest. Now within your heart resides a sense of calmness, cleanness, and well-being. Then the light of God emerges to warm and snuggle you, while caring rays penetrate your whole body and tenderly embrace you like a maternal hug, which brings comfort and safety to your heart. At this moment, great love warms your heart and removes the coldness resulting from any affliction. Now, your mind contains only feelings of joy and confidence. You are at peace and enveloped by a protective warmth. The heart of life offers you perfumed flowers. Then, with a grateful and happy soul, you gather their colorful petals that penetrate your whole being, restoring feelings and emotions of happiness, hope, faith, courage, and determination, helping you to regain the willingness to live. In addition to the perfume and color, nature also shares with you the best it has to offer, an infinite capacity for restoring its sublime beauty, even when struck by evil that appears to enact its end. Divine hands full of light gently overflow and spill over you like a golden waterfall of unspeakable and unknown essence. Little by little, your soul is impregnated with sweet happiness, allowing an inner renewal of the most noble and elevated purposes, that of progress and accomplishment. Showered by this sublime power, you deeply surrender to the donor of light, absorbing energy that now gives your life a new and blessed impulse. You called me, and here I am. What do you want from me today? What do you need? Ask, my son. Ask, my daughter. I am here to help. Now, ask your special request to Jesus, enumerating the problems and difficulties that afflict you. I listen to your request with love and attention. Now I count on your faith and trust in me to solve your problems. Go in peace. I am watching over you, and I will not lose sight of you. Believe in God, and also believe in me. I will be with you every day until the end. Be happy. Many blessings.
So, my friends, at this moment, I would like to invite you to calm down your thoughts. We have just finished this beautiful meditation. And at this moment, we are going to start our irradiation. The irradiation is the moment that we are going to focus on our energy, our strength. This strength that we have not in our physical body, but in our spiritual body, our minds. And as we know, the speed of thought is extremely fast. And this is what connects us. At this moment, I would like to ask the enlightened spirits to approach each one of us, to come closer with their love and benevolence. They treat us as little kids because we have so much to learn. So much to learn, especially in morality. We have our ups and downs, our difficulties. But we are here proving that we are trying to be better. Trying to be better today in a continuous way of improvement. And at this moment, feeling this blessings surrounding us, connecting us with the enlightened spirits, we start our irradiation. That is a chain of love. And these beautiful energies are leaving from my home and are going directly to Claudia's home, surrounding her, connecting with her loving energy, getting even stronger. And from Claudia's home, going straight to David's home. At this moment, these gold lights penetrate his home, surround his physical body, connect with his positive energies, and continue this travel of love, going at this moment to your home. Whatever you are, you feel this energy penetrating your home. The vibrations start changing. You feel lighter. You feel happier. And at this moment, it starts going from the house of every single person that is listening to this irradiation treatment. And with this loving energy vibrating from one to the other, connected with the enlightened spirits, at this moment, for a few seconds, we are going to think about all the people that we want to send this love. All our family members, all our friends, or specific people that we know that they are not doing very well. And at this moment, we want to take a little bit of this loving energy and send to them. So let's be silent for a few seconds and let's think about each one of those people. And then I will come back again to continue. Master Jesus, at this moment that we are here donating our energy, sharing with all our friends in this beautiful chain of love, we are asking for the people that we care, we love, the people that we just fought, and we ask that wherever they are, they can be visited by this powerful energy of healing, and it will make them feel better, feel stronger. If possible, their sick cells will be substituted by good cells. We don't know what is the best for them, Master Jesus. We know that you know, so we humbly ask, if they can be protected, if they can reach to a cure from whatever disease they are going through, if it is a sadness, if it is depression. You know all of them. Please help them to have this boost of energy, this a little bit of strength to fight the battles. But we understand that some of them will not be able to be cured from whatever they are feeling, they are going through in this lifetime, because they need it. So instead, we ask them to have strength, and us too, so we can face whatever will happen to them in the best way possible. We also ask all the guardian angels of these people, so they can be more connected with them. They can listen to their guidelines, to their loving thoughts, so they will be not as rebellious to whatever they are going through at this moment. And as we know, the whole planet Earth is going through this pandemic time that is so difficult and challenging. And we ask all the enlightened spirits to help us to be strong, connect us with positiveness, so we can face the adversities in the best way possible. We can help our friends, our families, even if with positive sentences, with positive thoughts, so we can all improve together. And knowing that this chain of love have traveled to all our homes, wherever we are, whomever is listening to it. This chain starts returning to myself where we started. And we are closing this chain of love. And at this moment, we feel this energy very strong surrounding all of us, because it's the energy of all of us together with all our guardian angels and the enlightened spirits. And we say thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for giving us this body. Thank you for giving us this life. Thank you for the possibility of being here tonight, participating of this irradiation, donating love, and receiving too. Please help us to have a great end of week, a great weekend. Help us to face our adversities in the best way possible, remembering to not say something if this would be negative. Help us to change our thoughts and our behaviors. We are still children learning, but it's impossible to learn something if we don't use our free will. Help us to use it correctly. Guide us and help us to be more connected, because only like this we will be able to fully learn. So at this moment, we start coming back, returning to our realities. We start returning to our room, feeling our bodies, feeling where we were sitting. We start opening our eyes, feeling this happiness that penetrated in our physical bodies and in our home. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And please help us to be able to return again and again and again. So be it. Hello, my friends. I'm so happy that it worked. I hope it worked. And feeling all these good vibrations, these good thoughts. I just would like to say thank you so much, Claudia, for being here with us, always helping us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Davi, for participating. Thank you for all of you that are here with us. Hi, Sandra. And hope you guys can come back again and again, and we can continue this chain of love. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will be talking to you soon. God bless you all.
God
See
bless
you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. He doesn't even want to say goodbye. Just like, no, not yet. Okay, fine. Bye, guys.